Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to go over the PM silver bullet for Friday, September 15th. And when we come to the chart here, we have consolidation over lunch hour, right? And then for the last, from 1 o'clock to 1:30, it's just an aggressive move down. So we expect a pullback, right? So we got the pullback and it went up to the new week opening gap here. So now we're waiting to see, is it going to continue to, pull back and come up to go for longs and looking to take out the high over here, or is it just a pullback to come back down lower? So we're kind of waiting for price action to tell us what we're going to do, and I will buy and sell based on candle by candle what we see here. Interesting. Okay, let's mark some of this up. So what I see is a breaker block right here. Why is that a breaker block? We have a high here. Why am I not using this high? Well, here's the low and then a high, a low. This is why. Okay. So you have high, a low, a higher high, and then it breaks through it. When price comes back in, that's a breaker block to go down. Okay. I also see this right here as last up close candle as an order block. Why is it an order block? It's the last up close candle before displacement down. Why is it displacement? Well, there's a fair value gap right here. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see it better. Right here is fair value gap. So there's 3 PD rays right there, and I don't have a special number that I trade. I can trade with one fair value gap. I can trade with just a breaker, just an order block, the unicorn setup, OTE, just off volume imbalances. There's dozens of ways to get in trades, okay? ICT has 81 PD rays that you can get in trades. So it's just marking up everything that you can see in the chart. And this is what I see in the chart. Sometimes it's optimal trade entry, sometimes it's just the 2022 mentorship model, sometimes it's just confluence of PD rays. So okay, that would have got us in the trade right there. So I'm going to sell short. Ideally I would have been right there. I'll mark this on, this is where it would be. And what am I aiming for? I'd probably be aiming for the middle of this huge fair value gap, maybe the bottom of it. So let's go with that. It'll be the bottom of that. Let's mark those up here. There's 2 fair value gaps right here that we're looking for. I know that price is going to probably want to trade into those, and then could become trade into those and back up. So not aiming for this low. I'm just aiming for those fair value gaps. Ideally, I'd like to take the low, but I'll be happy with this. It's PM in the session, so usually my target is a little lower generally. All right, so we will take a partial around 60%. So right when we kind of get into this fair value gap, it's over 60%, but that's when I'll probably do it because I don't know if it's going to hit this and just bounce back or if it's going to trade through it. So expecting some kind of reaction. All right, so I will buy one there. Let's extend this out here. I'm buying one because our limit order would have taken it. So I'll move my trailing stop. To right here, which is, I know it's not from our line, but I'm using this as where we would have really gotten in, not where trading view, because we had to use it to close the candles. So I'm using it, acting like this is our real order, not the one on trading view. Okay, it's just to give you some idea of how much you could have made if you traded it this way. So it's just for demo purposes, that's what the dollar amount's for, but this is how I would have traded it. Would have had a limit order at the order block, the breaker block, and up on the top of the fair value gap, and then that's where my stop would have been and aimed for down here. So that's why I'm showing you where I'm putting my trailing stop. And there we go. Let's see how the rest of the hour goes. I want to show you something here. Let's crunch this up just a little bit, and I want to show you something. Oops, nope, I want the breaker block. How many times that holds price? Okay. Could have got another entry here if you want it. It's outside the 2 to 3 p.m. Eastern time. It's outside that silver bullet range, but I'm just showing you that those two were held. Still push price down. So just thought that was kind of interesting to see. Okay, I'm going to take off the short position. All right, so we came to the 2 p.m. silver bullet hour, and price had already reached a low and then started retracing and stopped at this new week opening gap. Then price started trading down, making high resistance liquidity run back down to this fair value gap, fair value gaps down here. We started marking up structure. We saw a breaker block, we saw an order block, and a fair value gap. So we decided to follow price down into this fair value gap as a target, and we took our trade when it went up into this order block and breaker block and fair value gap. We took a partial when it hit this fair value gap here as our target because it was a large fair value gap, knowing that it could bounce, could have some kind of reaction. So then we took a partial, moved our stop to break even, and then it ended up hitting our final TP. And that's what our PM silver bullet looked like on September 15th.